Hello friends, today we are reading The Power of Subconscious Mind, Chapter-4, Mental Healing in Ancient Time. Through the age, people in every content, climate, culture has instinctively known that somewhere there resides a healing power that could restore the ability and the function of the person's body to a normal state of affection and good health. They believe that this strong power could be invoked under certain conditions and that if it were invoked properly, the alleviation of human suffering would follow. The history of all nations present testimony in support of this belief. In the early history of the world, the power of secretly influenced man for good or evil, including the healing of sick, was said to be possessed by priestesses or holy people. They claimed the past power derived directly from God that include the healing of the sick. The procedure and process of healing vary throughout the world, but they generally include supplication, offering the god various ceremonies such as the layer on a hand, incantation, and use of amulet, talismans, rings, relic, images. For example, in the religion of the antiquate priests in the ancient temple gave drugs to their parents and practiced hypnotic suggestion as they want to sleep. The patients were told that the good gold with suffering visit them in their sleep and heal them. Many healing follows. The devotees of Hecate were told the mixed lizard will with rays, frankincense, myth, pond, all this together in the open air under the certain moon. After performing this bizarre and mysterious rite, they played to the goddess, took the potion they had just compounded and want to sleep. If their faith was strong enough, they saw the goddess in dream. This rite, which sounds so strong, even fantastic or our ear, was often followed by healing. People in ancient time work out many effective ways to tap the incredible power of subconscious mind, use it for healing. While they knew that this procedure worked, however, they did not understand how and why they work. Today, we can see that they were using potential suggestion to the subconscious mind. The ritual and potion and amulet appealed powerful to the imagination of people. The forward and acceptance by the subconscious mind of the ancient suggestion given by the healer. But the work of healing was done by the patient over subconscious mind. In all ages, an official healer has obtained remarkable result in a case where authorized medical skill had failed and the patient had given up hope. This gives cause for thought. How do the healer in all parts of the world effect their cure? The answer is this healing takes place because the blind belief of the sick person releases the healing power resident in his and her subconscious mind. The more fantastic and peculiar the remedies method used by the healer, the most likely the patient were to believe that anything so strong must be unusually powerful. This aroused emotional state made it easier for them to accept the suggestion of health in both their conscious and subconscious mind. This point will be discussed at greater length in next chapter. Biblical account on the use of subconscious power. For thing whoever you desire when ye pray, believe that you receive them, you shall have them. Reread this passage. Pay close attention to different in the tenses. The verb believe, receive are in the present, but the verb shall have in the future. The inspired written telling us something of the greatest importance by this seemingly minor difference in the grammar of the sentence. If we believe that accept the truth, the fact that desire has already been accomplished and fulfilled, that is already completed, its realization will follow as a thing in the future. The success of this technique relies on a confident conviction that the thought, the idea, the picture is already fact in mind. In order for something to have substance in the realm of mind, it must be thought of as actually existing. Here is a few cryptic word in a conscious and specific direction for making use of creative power of thought by impressing upon the subconscious to particular thing you desire. Your thought, idea, plan, purpose is a real its own plane as your hand on your heart. In following the Babletic techniques, you completely eliminate for your mind all consideration of the condition, circumstance, anything that might imply a negative outcome. You are planting a seed concept in the mind that, if you leave undisturbed, will infallibly determinate into external fruition. The primary condition that Jesus insists upon was faith. Over and over again, read in a Bible. According to your faith, it is done unto you. If you plant certain type of seed in the ground, you have faith they grow after their kind. This is a way of seed, the trusting of law of growth, agriculture. You know that the seed will come through after their kind. The faith that is described in the Bible is a way of thinking, an attitude of mind, inner certitude, knowing that the idea you fully accept in your conscious mind will be embodied in your subconscious mind, made manifest. Faith is. It is sense, accepting a true what your reason and sense is dining. It is a dozing down, refusing to listen to the title, rational and analytical conscious mind, bearing an attitude of complete reliance of the inner power your subconscious mind. Here is the most known example of Babletic technology of healing. And when he was come into the house, the blind man come to him. Jesus sent into them, believe you that I am able to do this? They said into him, Yeah, Lord. Then touch he their eyes, saying, According to your faith be it upon you, and their eyes will open. Jesus certainly changed them, saying, See that no man know it. By saying, According to your faith be it upon you, Jesus was applying to the corporate of the subconscious mind of a blind man. Then faith was their great expectancy, their inner feeling, their inner conviction that something miracle would happen, that their prayer would be answered, and therefore it was. This is the time honor techniques of healing, utilized alike by an healing group throughout the world, regardless of religious affiliation. In saying, See that no man know it, Jesus was arguing the healing potential not to discuss their healing with others. If they did so, they might be harassed by the skeptical and derogatory criticism of the unbelievable. This is a turn might have tend to under the belief they had received in the hand of Jesus by depositing through the fear, doubt, anxiety in a subconscious mind. For with the authority of power, he commanded the unclean spirit, they come out. Look, when the sick come to Jesus to be healed, they were healed by their own faith. Together with faith, understanding of the healing power of subconscious mind, whatever he agreed, he felt unworthy to the truth. He and the people need help were in a one universal subjective mind. His silent inner knowing and conviction of healing power changed the negative destructive pattern in a patient subconscious. The resultant healing were the automatically respond to the internal mental changes. His command was his appeal to subconscious mind of the patient. Pulse is awareness, feeling, absolution, trust is. The response of the subconscious mind is to word that spoke with authority. The miracle at various shining throughout the world. On every continent, in every land, there are shrines at which God take place. Some are world famous, others are known only to those who live nearby. Whatever, celebrate or obscure, the healing that happen as their shrines happen for the same reason, by way of the some power of the subconscious mind. I have visited several of the famous shrines in Japan. The central focus of the world renowned shrine of debuted. It is the gigantic bronze statue, 42 feet tall. Its disciple Buddha sit with folded hand, his hand inlined in the attitude of profound contemplative aesthetic. Here I saw young and old make Offering at the feet, money, fruit, rice, or orange were offered. Candles were lit. Incense was burned. Prayer of petition was recited. I learned to the chant of young girl as a intone a prayer. Bowl law placed to organ and offering. She was thanking Buddha for restoring her voice. She had lost her voice, but it was restored at a shrine. Her simply faith that Buddha will give her back her singing voice if she following a certain ritual, fasted, made certain offering had helped to kindly faith, expectancy. The result was conditionally of her mind to point of belief. Her subconscious mind then respond to her belief. The power of imagination. The blind belief cannot be overstand. A wondrous example of this in case of relative of mine is Perth in Western Australia, was who suffered for tuberculosis. His lungs were badly diseased. His son decided to help his father healing himself. He wanted his father home and told him that he had certainly met a wonderful monk with strong power. This monk had just returned from a long stay at one of the most celebrated healing shrines in Europe. There he had acquired a small fragment of true cross, set a ring and date back to the Middle Age. Over the century, countless suffered had been healed after touching the ring of the fragment of the cross. When the son had heard this, he also told the monk about his father's illness, begging to borrow the ring. The monk has agreed. The son then gave the monk a free will offering an equivalent of $500. When the son showed his father the ring, the old man practically snatched it from him. He clasped the ring on his chest, prayed silently, went to sleep. In the morning he was healed. All clinic tests proved negative. Healing of this sort happened all the time. What is the most significant about this one is that the son Ahmed's story was totally made up. In fact, he had picked up a splinter of ordinary wood from the sidewalk, taking it to the jewelry, had it with the gold ring of antique sign. He had given it to his father. Of course, it was not the splinter of wood for the sidewalk that healed the father. No, was the imagination around the intent degree, plus the confident expectation of the perfection healing. Imagination was joined the faith and subjective feeling and union of true thought about the healing through the power of his subconscious mind. The father never learned of the trick that had been played upon him. He might well had a relapse. Instead, his tuberculosis never returned. He remained completely cured and passed away from other cause 15 years later at the age of 89. One universal healing principle. It is a well-known fact that all the various schools of healing being about the documented cure of the most wonderful character. The most obvious calculation that stick your mind in that there must be some underlying organ process that is common to all them. Indeed, there is. The organ of healing is the subconscious mind, and the process of healing is faith. Think deeply about this fundamental truth. Your possess mental functions that have been distinguished by designing one to conscious mind and the other is subconscious mind. Your subconscious mind is constantly enabled to the power of unconscious subconscious suggestion. Your subconscious mind has complete control of the function, condition and sensation of your body. You surely know that symptom of almost any disease can be induced in hypnotic subject by suggestion. For example, a subject in the hypnotic state can develop a high temperature and flushed face or chill according to the nature of the suggestion given. You can suggest to the person that he is paralyzed and cannot walk. It will be so. You can hold a cup of cold water under the nose of hypnotic subject and tell him, "This is full of pepper, smell it." He will sneeze violently and repeatedly. What do you think caused him to sneeze, the water or suggestion? If someone tells you he is allergic to Timothy grass, you can place a synthetic flower or any empty glass in front of his nose when he is hypnotic state and tell him it is a stimmy glass, he will develop his usually allergic symptom. This shows that the cause of symptom is the subconscious mind. Cure the symptom also take place in the subconscious mind. Different schools of medicine such as osteopathy, chiropractic, Qi acupuncture, natural therapy, all product remarkable healing. So, do you rate the ceremony of the various religion belief throughout the world? It is obvious that all this healing are brought about thought the subconscious mind. The only heal is there is nothing how the subconscious mind heal a cut of your finger. It known exactly how to do it. The doctor raised the wound and said natural heal is, and nature is nothing more than another name of nature law, the law of subconscious mind. The instinct of the self-preservation is the first law of nature. Self-preservation is the foremost function of the subconscious mind. Your strongest instinct is the most potent in all autosuggestion. Widely different theory. Many different theories of healing has been advanced by different religions and prayer therapy group. There are a great number who claim that because of the particular product result their theory therefore must be right. As we have seen in this chapter, cannot be correct. As you know, there are many varieties of healing. Faraz Anto Masmer, 1734 or 1815, an Asturian physician who practiced in Paris, discovered that by applying magnet to the diseased body, he could cure that disease miraculously. He could perform cure with various other pieces of glass and metal. Later, he abandoned that use of this object in favor of passing his hand over the patient body. He claimed that the real source of his cure was what he called animal magnetism. He theories that some mysterious magnetic subjective was transmitted from the healer hand to the patient. Maser laid his name to his method to treat disease, which come to the call mesmerism. Today we know is a hypnotic other physics, jealous of Maser's success, claimed that all his healing were due to suggestion, nothing else. When passes, however, they had to admit that they did not know how this power of suggestion creates such amazing effect. All of this group, psychiatrists, psychologists, osteopathy, chiropractor, physician, religion group of every variety are used to universe power resident in the subconscious mind. Each many proclaim to heal are due to this theory. But the truth is far different. The process of all healing is defined positive mental attitude, an inner attitude or a way of thinking called faith. Healing is due to the confident expectancy that acts as a powerful suggestion to the subconscious mind, releasing its healing potency. One person does not heal by a different power than another. It is true that both may have their own theory or method, but there is only one process of healing, and that is faith. There is only one healing power, namely your subconscious mind selected whatever theory, belief, method call out to you. You can just assume if you have faith, you will get the result. The view of Paracelsus. Philips Paracelsus, a famous swing artist and physician who lived in 1493 and 1541, was a great healer in his day. He stated what is now an obvious scientific fact when he said, whether the object of your faith is real or false, you will nevertheless obtain the same effect. Thus, if I believe in Saint Peter statue, as I should have believed in Saint Peter himself, I shall obtain the same effect that I should have obtained from Saint Peter. But this is the superstition. Faith, however, produce miracle. Whether it is true or false faith, it was always produced the same wonder. The view of Paracelsus was echoed in the 16th century by Pietro Pomponazzi, an Italian philosopher who wrote, We can easily convince the marvelous effect which confidence and imagination can produce, particularly when both qualities are reciprocated between the subject and person who influence them. The cure attribute to the influence of the certain relic are to affect their imagination and confidence. Quack and philosopher know that if the bone of any skeleton put were in place of sand bones, the sick would nonetheless experience beneficial effect if they believed that they were veritable relic. Think about this imply if you believe in the power of sand bones or a healing property of certain water or like my Australian relative, it is a miracle effect of a fragment of wood. You will get result because of powerful suggestion given to you subconscious mind. It is the latter that doesn't the healer. The Brahmin experience. Hippolyte Brahmin was professor of medicine at Nancy, France. Early in the 20th century, he was one of the first to explain who a physician's suggestion to the patient took effect because of force of subconscious mind. Braham related to the story of man whose tongue was paralyzed. If every form of treatment was tried with no success at all. Then one day the man doctor announced that he had learned of a new instrument that was certain to relieve his problem. The doctor then put a pocket thermometer in a patient's mouth. The patient imagined that he was instrument that was to save him. In a few moments he cried out joyfully that he could once more move his tongue freely. Brahim continue among our cure. Fact of the same sort will be found. A young girl come into my office having suffered from complete loss of speech for nearly 4 weeks. After making such of the diagnosis, I told my student that loss of speech something yielded instantly to electricity, which might get act simply by the suggestion influence. I sent from an induction apparatus. I apply my hand over the lyrics and move a little, said, "Now you can speak loud." In an instant I made her say, "A, then B, then Myra." She continued to speak distinctly. The loss of voice has disappeared. Her Brahmin is shown the power of faith, expectancy on the part of the patient, which act as a powerful suggestion to the subconscious mind. Producing a blister by suggestion. The Brahmin states that he produced a blister on the back of a patient's neck by applying a postage stamp and suggesting to the patient that it was a flat plaster. This sort of demonstration has been confirmed by the experimenter of many doctors in many parts of the world. This leaves no doubt that structural change in the body can be thought about all the result and oral suggestion to the patient. The cause of bloody stamina. Hemorrhage and bloody stamina can be introduced by the name of suggestion. As a demonstration of this, Mr. M. Borrow put a subject into the hypnotic trauma, then give him the following suggestion. At 4 o'clock this afternoon, after the hypnotic, you will come into my office, sit down in an armchair, fold your arm across your chest. Your nose will be beginning to bleed. Then that afternoon, the young man did exactly as he had been told. After he crossed his arm, several drops of blood come into his left nostril. One other occasion, the same investigator traced a patient name on both his fourth arm. Will be dull point of an instrument while the patient was in hypnotic trance. Bureau then said, at 4 o'clock this afternoon you will go to sleep. Your arm will bleed along the line I have traced, and your name will appear within on your arm in letter of blood. The patient was carefully obtained that afternoon. At 4 o'clock he falls asleep. His left arm later stood out in bright relief. In several places that were drops of blood, although the latter gradually faded. They were still fainted, visible 3 months afterward. These facts demonstrate at once the correctness of the two fundamental propositions previously stated, namely the constant amenability of subconscious mind to the power of suggestion and the perfect control that the subconscious mind exercises over the function, sensation, condition of the body. All the foregoing phenomena dramatize vividly abnormal condition induced by the suggestion. They are conclusion proof that a man thinking kind in his heart, subconscious, so he is. Healing point in view. Remind yourself frequently that the healing power is in your subconscious mind. Know that faith is like a seed planted in the ground. It grows after its kind. Plant the seed in your mind, water, fertilize it with expectancy, and it will become manifest. The idea you have for a book, new invention play a role in your mind. This is why you can believe you have it now. Believe in the reality of your idea, plan, invention. As you do, it will become manifest. In praying for another, know that your silent inner knowing of wholeness, beauty, perfection can change the negative pattern of the other subconscious mind, bring about wonderful result. The marvelous healing you hear about is various shared due to imagination and blind faith that act as an honor subconscious mind, releasing that healing power. All this is organized in the mind, nothing inspired on the body unless there is a mental pattern corresponding to it. The symptom of almost any disease can be induced in you by hypnotic suggestion. This shows you the power of your thought. There is the only one process of healing, that is faith. There is only one healing power, namely your subconscious mind. Whether the object of your faith is real or false, you will get result. Your subconscious mind respond to the thought is your mind. Look upon faith as a thought in your mind, and that will be suffice.